Yo, what's going on, guys? Mr. Underscore Zeno here. Welcome. This is Bitrated. I can hear your stream back. Yep, there you go. Mellar with the professional technical things. So I'm joined with my co-host here, Mellar21,
Hello.
and our guest today, Devinreviews.
Hello, everybody.
There we go. Lovely jubbly. Bitrated. Welcome back, everybody. We've got lots of things to talk about, but Devin, let's hear from you. What do you do on Twitch? Where do we find you? All things Devin. Let us know.
So, right, I guess, first let's start with what I do on Twitch. So, I've decided to abandon mental... I guess that's not important to me, and I've decided to go all of the Souls games. So, it's a recent decision I made, actually. I used to do, like, variety. But,
Okay.
yeah, recently I kind of, like, figured I'd prefer something more, like a single game that I could build a community around, I guess.
Okay.
And yeah, I decided on the Soulsborne games because I don't value my own mental health, apparently. So,
Yeah, I see that, yeah.
yeah, so that's pretty much me. I mean, I enjoy podcasts like these. Like I said to you guys just before the show, I've done only one up until now. But I'd like to do more stuff like this. When I used to do variety stuff, I did like a combination of kind of single player solo games and a lot of indie kind of roguelites, because those are my bread and butter in terms of gaming a lot of the time. So yeah, I think that's pretty much me in terms of what I do on Twitch. You can find me at Devinreviews pretty much everywhere. That's like my Twitter handle, my Twitch TV name as well. So shouldn't be too difficult to find me if you're looking. But yeah.
Socials at the beginning and end, everyone.
Yes.
Oh, okay, sure.
That's fine, yeah.
No, it's all good. Yeah,
So-
no, it's all good.
So you mentioned variety. I'm interested. What sort of stuff did you stream? Have you found was successful? That sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. So when I say variety, I really do mean variety. So I think when I initially started streaming, I was at university, and it was something I just picked up because my name is Devin Reviews, obviously, and that was because I was more interested in the kind of critical take on.
But your real
various
name's real name's Robert, so I don't know why you. I'm joking. I'm joking. Sorry, I'm a dick.
No, you got me. My real name is actually Robert, funnily enough. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, basically, I took the name Devin Reviews because obviously, initially, I was kind of more interested in the critical angle. And what I was going to do is I was going to stream the games I was planning on reviewing to the end, because I think you can only really get a full idea of a piece of art if you've experienced the whole thing, right, front to back.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was literally planning on streaming that, then doing a YouTube video and uploading it. But what happened was I ended up enjoying the streaming aspect a lot more than I did the kind of YouTube side of things. So I just decided I kind of just prefer streaming. But I mean, in terms of the games I played, it's due to that angle. I guess I just played a huge variety of things. So the first thing I played was Getting Over It front to back, which was hell on earth. But
you really don't value your mental health, do you?
No, I don't. Apparently, I like challenging games. Who knew? But there you go. Other than that, I did, so like I said, a lot of indie kind of roguelites. They're really like my thing. So I've played hundreds of hours of Binding of Isaac, a lot of Gungeon, Slay the Spire. What else? There's definitely others I'm just forgetting. FTL back in the day. There's probably like literally hundreds. Maybe not literally hundreds, but you get a lot. So yeah, just a bunch of those kind of things. I eventually branched out into more solo-y things. So I did Subnautica, I did Celeste. I did some of the multiplayer stuff too, like I did PUBG, Fortnite. Struggling to remember what else, but it's just been a ton, honestly. I've transitioned a lot of times.
So do you still upload to YouTube?
Yes. At the minute, I'm just uploading my Dark Souls VODs, really. So nothing super interesting. I did, I had like, I guess... I hesitate to say it was a hot take on Endgame, but I spoke about it on one of my streams, so I kind of cut that out and just uploaded that separately. But other than that, at the minute, it's just Dark Souls VODs. I really would like to move more into the review stuff at some point, but it's just right now with, I've got a lot going on in my own personal life, so the amount of time I have to streaming really is like all I have to give to that.
I mean,
so, yeah.
I get the personal life stuff. My wife could go into labour any second, so...
Oh, blimey.
So that's, you might be doing I might be dipping halfway through. It's unlikely. We've still got 2 weeks to go, but, it's possible.
Cool.
Mallory, you carry on.
Talk us through your stream lights. I really like the lights you've got on in the background there.
Yeah, bit cool lighting
thank
going
you very
on.
much. So basically, I've always liked the idea of having some more interesting lighting. I think it gives a very kind of cozy or comfy feel to a stream. I think it's a really nice thing to have. I only bought these recently, actually. Like I said, these are. When did I get them? Like maybe last week. So over the weekend, I actually went to Venice with my girlfriend. They arrived basically the day I left. So the only stream I've done with these lights was on Tuesday. And before that point, I had my spotlights, which only got put in recently. So in terms of personal stuff that's going on in my life, one of the things is I've just moved out, and this is my own flat. I own it with. I went half and half with a friend, basically.
Yeah.
So I bought this flat really recently. So there's been just a lot of stuff to deal with in terms of just moving out for the first time.
Do you buy it or renting?
Bought.
Well, fair enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been pretty crazy. So I've been dealing with a lot of that kind of stuff, and yeah, like I said, these spotlights only got put in recently, and they've been I had a couple of issues with them, like they were flickering. I think some of the wiring's a bit weird or whatever. So I eventually was like, well, I like coloured lighting anyway, so screw it, let's just take the dive. Why
It
not?
is nice, and then it's a nice ambience for off stream as well. So, how old are you then? If you just moved out, because you look older than 7, but younger than 60. So you're in that mid range.
Yes, actually, you're wrong there. I'm actually 65. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I am. Despite, I will say, I do look. I think most people think I'm a lot older than I actually am. I'm 26.
Okay, yeah, I'm 25. Mellar's a granddad.
I'm in my early 30s. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an old man. He's near bedtime, actually.
Cheeky.
So what's the plans for going forward on Twitch then? Have you hit any big milestones recently? Like say you're about the Souls content. Like where are we with that? Are you just starting Dark Souls 1?
Yeah, so as far as Dark Souls goes, or in terms of my content anyway, so just to give, I guess, a bit more, to flesh it out a bit more, I streamed Dark Souls for the first time on a whim, maybe, I don't know, 2 months back, something like that. And what happened was I really liked the community, actually. The people that started coming into the streams, I was really, a big fan of. They're very interactive, kind of funny, and that kind of thing. So at that point, I decided that it'd probably be a good game to keep going, and eventually I just transitioned completely into it. But right now, I am basically at the end of, more or less at the end of Dark Souls 1, coming up to that point, but as a complete noob, so I'm still awful. I have no idea what I'm doing. The only Souls games I played before this point were, I touched a bit of Bloodborne, but I didn't even get to the first boss, I don't think. And I actually, you know what, it is a slight lie saying that this is my first run through Dark Souls, because I did play it before, but I got incredibly stuck pretty early on. I don't even think I beat the Cap Redeemer on my first attempt, so it was still super early days. So everything from the last, I don't know, maybe 10 streams is all very new to me.
I feel you. I'm with you.
Do you know what you're gonna do when you've reached the end of all of the Dark Souls games? Have you got a plan or?
Not exactly. I'm kind of a go with the flow sort of guy. I very much take things on a day by day basis. So at the minute, I'm planning on doing the whole series plus Bloodborne and Sekiro. Also, actually, one of the games I played when back in my variety days was Hollow Knight. And although Hollow Knight isn't exactly a Souls-like game, I would still really like to do Silk Song when it comes out, and that is it's still thematically similar to Dark Souls, I think, in terms of the tone and the way the story's told, things like that. So I'd like to play that, and I mean, that's 6 games down the line, and all of them are pretty lengthy, or at least they will be for me, because I am awful, so, yeah.
That's part of the fun,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
So do you think maybe you might, if you get a little bit of time going forward, sort of pick up the YouTube content maybe again, or do you think that you're done with that?
No, that's something I very much want to pick up, actually. In fact, so my name's Devinreviews because I enjoy the critical look and discussion around various types of media and art. It's not just games for me. In fact, games is probably the thing I'm the least interested in out of all the media, in terms of the ones I really indulge in. So I'm a huge music nerd. I'd love to get back into doing album reviews, because I used to do that on YouTube maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago, a long time ago. And also I would love to get into film discussion as well. Those are I'm kind of a bit more passionate about those two than games, although I still am very passionate about games, clearly. So yeah, it's, I'd like to branch out on YouTube in that sense. Also, I'm a huge fan. I mean, I'm a big, consumer of YouTube and Twitch. And as a result, I enjoy lots of different aspects of it, right? And for me personally, because I get bored of any one thing relatively quickly, I guess other than Dark Souls, this took me for quite a while now. But because I get bored of any one thing particularly quickly, I like to have a lot of different things to branch out into, right? So like music, film, games are 3 different things I can talk about totally separately. I also really enjoy kind of politics, philosophy, just various types of debate and discussion. They're all super up my alley. So yeah.
Okay. That's
Those
cool.
kind of things would be nice to explore as well on stream and YouTube.
All right.
It's interesting. It's going to be really controversial if you wanted to talk about like politics or something on Twitch. That would be
something that most streamers try to avoid.
Yeah,
that kind of content. So that's quite interesting.
Well, that could be
actually.
a niche. That could be a niche.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely. I feel like it's kind of gone a little bit in that way. As like, there's a couple of people that have blown up, or I'd say blown up, but have slowly gathered more and more in maybe 2 years, and have brought like an alternative voice. Because I feel like a lot of gaming YouTube and a lot of Twitch is very kind of center right, and I don't think there's that much room for some of the like slightly more left wing opinions. So I think that's a really interesting area to explore, and it's some of the opinions I happen to hold. So
Yeah, it's cool to
I
have
think it's
different
something I could,
opinions.
explore.
Yeah.
On the subject of films, what kind of films, like generally, are you more interested in?
This is going to be a super cop-out answer, and I'm really sorry in
Go on.
advance. But I don't really like any particular type of film or game or music. I just enjoy things that I personally believe to be well executed, basically. So, as far as like my favorite films go, I'm not going to have anything that's super controversial. It's all going to be very standard, like considered to be well directed, well acted, that kind of thing. So to give a couple of examples, a couple of my favorite films would be like Pulp Fiction, Her, Memento, Alien, what else?
approve.
Drive, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing super controversial. There's a couple of things, and music's probably I have my most controversial picks because I've spent the most time exploring that as an art form.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. One thing I wanted to say is like, so you were on about going into more of the review part, and especially your name's Devinreviews, right? Like, but reviews, for me at least, it's quite a broad term. It's so like, what was you actually planning? Would you just be like, well, I like superhero movies because they're pretty cool, and yeah, or was you going to be more into the minutia? Was you going to go more into like, if you've got a background in audio and stuff, was you going to go more into in depth with it, or would you going to go somewhere else with it, like unboxing reviews or something like that?
So that's kind of something I need to work out for myself, I think,
Okay.
because when I used to do music reviews back, like, I don't know, like I said, about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe, what I did was, sorry, pardon me, I've just had a lot of fizzy drink and wasted your time, but there you go. But yeah, basically, when I used to do reviews back in the kind of day, I hardcore dug into the minutiae because music is something I'm very comfortable talking about. I don't know that much music theory, but I've just listened to so much that I feel like I can eloquently state my opinion. But because I've taken up streaming and I'd like to do a lot of the review content while I'm on stream, so I can kind of go have a back and forth of chat and then kind of upload that to YouTube, that's been way more freeform and kind of broader opinions. So I don't really know where the balance is exactly. I'd like to get a bit more analytical, but at the same time, I don't want to lose the chat interaction. So I think at some point what I'm going to say is I will review things formally on Twitch, and then instead of reacting to chat as I'm doing the review, I'll kind of like give my general thoughts and opinions, go into the minutia, and then afterwards have like a
backtrack.
chat with. Exactly, yeah. So it's going to be a back and forth, but I definitely would prefer to keep the minutia. So yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like how we run Bitrated with the chat. Is like, where the chat's there, and if they have something to input that's really helpful towards it, then obviously then we can say, hey, that person, and say their point, and then go further into it with that. But then it's not going to be the full focus. I'm not going to be reading every comment out loud, and that's kind of you got to know how to use that tool. You know, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. Mellar,
Yeah,
do you
also-
have? Yeah, sorry.
Just out of interest, what have you got on your T-shirt there? That looks really cool.
So this is a woman. I'll have a little stand up for you.
Go on,
so this
model,
is
do as a twirl.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, headphones not long enough, but yeah, that's the shirt. It's you got some stuff on the sides and whatnot.
So it's
But
Nails.
this is actually it's a band. They're called Nails. They're like a hardcore punk. I mean, honestly, that's actually like that's selling them short. They're just a general mesh of various extreme genres in the heavy music world. Basically, they make fast, short songs. To give you an example of how short, actually, their first album is, I think, 10 minutes, and it's like, I think it has actually 10 tracks.
I
with
hope
multiple
they're
songs.
not charging you full price for that album.
Oh no, it's so emotionally, it's so worth it though, because it's the most aggressive. It's one of my favorite albums of the time. It's the most like pure, like distilled aggression you could hear. It's incredible.
Well, I like the font. It's a very similar font to my logo, so I
It
appreciate
is
it.
actually.
I
He's
really
thinking
do.
about that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
secretly Mellar's ripping off a band. Ooh, copyright claims.
Maybe that's it. Who knows?
Have
Oh,
you hit
very good.
have you hit any like interesting milestones you found along the way yet, or are you still, or is there anything you're particularly working towards with Switch?
I mean, honestly, not necessarily. I'm not much of a like sentimental guy in terms of milestones or like numbers. I kind of like at the end of the day, you know.
Oh, we've just. Oh, okay, you cut
We
out
lost you
then.
for a second
Yeah,
there.
Oh, sorry. Am I back?
yeah, you're
Yeah.
good. You're good. Do you want to
Cool.
repeat that?
Yeah, sorry. So basically, I'm not much of a sentimental guy when it comes to numbers and that kind of thing. Like, to me, at the end of the day, what does 100 followers really mean? What does, like, 500 followers really mean in terms of, like... It's, like, no more of a milestone for me than 499 or 501, right? It's all kind of a bit arbitrary.
That
But
actually goes into one of our previous topics about how do you measure success on Twitch. That's really interesting, yeah.
Sure. So for me, it's very much just going to be. I'm always grateful for people that are willing to come and check out my stream and stick around. I think that's a really cool thing. When I find people that I really, bounce off really well, that I mesh with in a friendship way or in a comedy way or whatever. These are more important milestones to me than anything else. Honestly, the only milestone I can think of at this point would be partner, and then after that, if you really want to go. Ridiculously far with it, it would be full time. That's pretty much the only two things I could think about right now that would be like specific measurable milestones.
Yeah, absolutely. Just quickly in chat, Virtue wants to know what I've got on my t-shirt. It looks like a clothes hook. It is a clothes hook. It's you can't see it. It says "Up and dressed. What more do you want?" It kind of speaks to my soul.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry about that. Go on. Have you got any more questions there, Zendo?
No, you have you got anything? No, do you want to go straight to Sec 2?
Have you got anything else that you wanted to? Do you want anything to ask us or?
Yeah, did you want to ask us anything?
Well, I mean, I'd be kind of interested to know what you guys do on Twitch outside the podcast, I guess, just in however long you want to put it, I guess.
Sure, Mel, do you want to go quick?
Yeah, no worries. I do a bit of everything. I'm a massive fan of Zelda. I like adventure games are my jam. Yeah, so Zelda's my favourite. I've done all of the 3D Zeldas on stream, but recently I've been playing a lot of, I suppose it's more sandboxy games, Terraria and Minecraft. Just purely because it's something I've always wanted to do. I actually bought a server, so we've been playing a lot of those recently, so that's all good. Go on then, Zendo.
Yeah, I play mainly FPS. It's like a 70-30 split I try and do. So it's like Apex Legends is my bread and butter at the moment, but that's probably going to switch to a game called Splitgate. It's a new game. It comes out on the 22nd. I played a bunch of the beta, and it's awesome. It's basically Halo mixed with Portal. It comes out on the 22nd. Everyone should play it. It's amazing. Super great game. So
That sounds very up my alley.
Yep.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So yeah, people can add me on Steam and stuff, and we'll play games. But other than that, I do occasionally I'll try and branch out a little bit. So I'll be doing. I've almost finished it. I finished the core game, but I didn't realize I had some DLC that came with it. So I'll be playing the DLC for Fable 1, which is an awesome game. I've had a lot of fun with it. And then I have also played Psychonauts and Zelda as well, as branching out different kind of, just to give a little flavour of something else, just so it's not full, this guy's a Battle Royale channel, just a flavour of something else. So yeah, that's kind of me.
Brilliant.
Cool.
Well,
I gotta say, sorry, just real quick. It sounds like you're a bit of an Xbox guy growing up, if I had to guess then, based on the games you've listed.
Xbox, yeah, pretty much. Xbox. I've been on PC for 3-4 years now.
Sure,
completely
and
switched over,
I've been on PC for a bit longer, I guess, but yeah, Xbox was growing up very much my bread and butter. Yeah, Halo, Gears of War.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Fable for sure, Psychonauts as well. Yeah,
100%. Virtue was an
Classic
Xbox boy as
games.
well.
A lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of good memories.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to segment 2?
Yeah, for sure. So our second topic, if you don't know our section 2, we talk about something like somewhat controversial, or say our individual points. Some might agree, some might disagree, and hopefully we get a good discussion going. So what I wanted to talk about was charity streaming, and like when you should be when you should do charity streams for like the size of your channel, whether that would be a detriment or a help to your channel, even like. Because everyone thinks, oh, charity, yeah, let's do a charity stream. And also, that kind of like flows into this. Usually, when someone does a charity stream, they'll do a 24-hour stream or like a 48-hour stream or something nutty. And we all have, we might have some different opinions here, because I'm of an opinion that that doesn't necessarily help. But Mellar can go first. Oh, actually, Devin, do you want to take it first?
Devin, you go first.
Yeah, Devin, you take it
Sure.
first.
So, I guess we're on the subject of charity streams. I guess what I would say is there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about actually morally, in my opinion, I think. But in terms of actually firstly, okay, do they help or hurt your channel? It's all going to go down to how you market it. It's all going to go down to where you post it. It's all going to go down to your current size and how many people are willing to spread it out. The same as anything on Twitch. I don't think someone with 0 followers can't just go on Twitch, do a charity stream, and suddenly boom, they're huge. It's going to be. You've got to kind of plan these things out. You've got to already have probably somewhat of a following, honestly. I'd be really surprised if anyone's ever done a really tiny charity stream that's just gone insanely successful. I think there's a lot of interesting ways you can approach it. As far as do they help or hurt overall, I'd say they probably help overall if I had to guess, because I think people, obviously most people seem to just think that charity is a really good thing to do, and it is. But that will kind of implore people to come in. And I think, generally speaking, the charity streams I've seen anyway, even from a lot of the smaller channels, although not the tiny ones, have definitely been more successful than you'd expect of a channel that size. People seem to be a bit more generous when it comes to charity, as obviously we all like to think they are.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah.
So,
sorry, Karen, I just wanted to say that was an interesting point, Karen.
Oh, okay, sure. So I think, but to me, I tell you what, honestly, an example I think is probably the most interesting thing to me right now. Do you guys know a YouTuber, and I guess he's a Twitch streamer now? He's not really as big on Twitch. Do you know H Bomber Guy?
I do not know, but carry on.
Right, so H Bomber Guy is a YouTuber. He makes a variety of analytical looks at various different things. He kind of is he covers a lot of kind of politics, also a lot of games. He has a lot of really hot. He's kind of known for that a bit. But recently, he did a charity stream that was just beyond successful. It was ridiculously successful. I think he raised. Oh, woman, I'm just going to Google this quick because I don't want to get the number wrong, and it was insane. H Bomber Guy. So I think one of the really funny things to me about this stream is that he actually did this charity stream because so he made nearly over £250,000.
Wow.
And how big's his channel? Is he one of the big guys, or?
On YouTube, I'm not actually sure how many subs he has. I don't really pay attention to that kind of thing anyway. H Bomber Guy. I know on Twitch he doesn't pull in more than I don't know, a couple hundred concurrents on average. I don't think so. It's got
okay, so that is an insane amount of money for a couple hundred views on average.
Exactly, but his YouTube channel is a lot bigger for sure. He has 400,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Okay.
He's a lot bigger on YouTube for sure. But basically, I think the interesting thing about his is that something that most people would look at when it comes to a charity stream. It's okay, this is probably going to grow my channel, but obviously I'm doing it for the charity. I'm doing it for the good part, right? And basically, with him, after he did the stream, he found a lot more success on Twitch. He actually was getting a lot more subs, a lot more donations, even though this wasn't going to point. And what I thought was funny and kind of is interesting, and I think it's kind of a valid point. I think it really depends on where you land. It's an interesting point to bring up anyway, is that basically he felt weird about taking the money that he got after the charity stream was over because of the charity stream, if that makes sense. Because he saw it as himself... Yeah, he saw it as himself profiting off of a charity thing, and based on his political views, that's something that he would super not be okay with, basically. So I thought that was an interesting point, and I think it changed my perception of charity streams a lot, because I hadn't really thought about it up until that point. I thought it was just an interesting point to bring up. I don't know where I land on it exactly as to whether it's okay or not okay to do or whatever. But charity streams kind of all over the map, in my opinion, in terms of how good they are. Kind of honestly, anything. I think anything is basically just down to execution, really. I don't think there's such thing as a bad idea for the most part. There are some bad ideas, but I don't think there's many really.
Fair enough. Any other views on that, or is that where you land?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about charity streams. I think I will say one. As far as like you mentioned 24-hour streams specifically with charity streaming, so I'm assuming that charity streams are generally longer. Is that where you were going with that? Yeah. Sure. So I think 24-hour streams for smaller guys especially, I don't understand why people do them. I see a lot of people personally that kind of they do like a 12-hour, 24-hour stream once every month. I don't personally think the benefit is there as opposed to just having a solid schedule and sticking by it. That was by far the biggest change that I made that kind of was more, kept viewership more consistent, I guess, and had people come back more. Like a solid schedule seems like the most important thing on Twitch, honestly. And I feel like a 24-hour stream takes so much of your time and energy that you're just going to get massively diminishing returns relative to other things you can do, Yeah, absolutely. Mellar, do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of bring up an interesting point there about growing the channel because of a charity stream. That seems to me like someone who thinks that way would probably be doing it for the wrong reasons. You should be doing a charity stream because you want to get money for charity, not because you want to grow your channel.
Yeah.
At the same time, if you do a charity stream and it grows your channel, then that's great. You got to do it for the right reasons, though. Otherwise, it's kind of a bit cynical. It's a bit, Yeah,
it's like not doing charities, like being selfless and doing something without a return.
But... Yeah. Whereas if you do it for your own channel growth, it's very selfish.
I'm actually kind of curious to know your guys' opinion on this. Then I guess we're going to disagree. But to be honest, I kind of feel I don't think there's anything that anyone really does that isn't cynical in a lot of ways. I'm a very cynical person in that sense. I think that I completely agree that if you're doing a charity stream, you should do it for the right reasons. Absolutely. Like if you're doing a charity stream, you're putting your time and effort into helping out a charity, right? But I also don't necessarily know if I think there's anything wrong with doing a charity stream and kind of trying to get a benefit out of that yourself, because at the end of the day, if you're helping the charity, it's kind of a win-win as far as I'm concerned. I think that H-Bomb guy brought up a really interesting point, like I said, in that the amount of money he was receiving, even after the charity stream had received, for that, even after the charity stream had ended, even like a week after that, he was still making way more on Twitch than he was before. And I think there's an interesting point, because you could probably argue that still should really kind of count as the charity stream in a way, even if it's just an after effect. So I think that definitely there's ways to do it responsibly, I guess. But in general, I don't personally believe that anyone does anything really purely for or not purely selflessly, because there are like incredibly selfless actions and things like that. But in terms of
you're just cynical of it. Yeah, I get you.
I think that basically, even if it's a small, tiny thing in the back of your head, I think most people kind of think they're going to get some benefit when they do something, right? And I don't even necessarily think that's a bad thing personally.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got to get into it for the right reasons. But as long as you are getting into it for the right reasons, I don't see any harm in it at all. Even if you're going to sit there and do a 24-hour stream and you're a little streamer and you sit there and do it for 24 hours and get nothing, there's still that potential. You sat there for 24 hours and someone could have come in and donated to you because you're doing a charity stream. You don't know that. So, there would be some people that might say, oh, what's the point? You're only a small streamer. But at the same time, if you're willing to do that and it works for you and you're willing to sort of give that time to that charity for 24 hours of your life, then go ahead. And don't even feel bad or disheartened if no one donates to you, because you've still given all of your time to that charity, and there's all the whole time in that 24-hour period there was a much higher chance of making money for charity, even if you didn't succeed on that particular occasion.
For sure, yeah. I just want to make something really clear right now. When I'm saying,
we just lost you again. You do cut off your end of your sentences a little bit, so if you could sit maybe a bit more forward into the mic or lower the noise gate on Discord.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Am I loud and clear now?
Yeah, a bit better? You're great.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So sorry. Just to make something super clear, actually. well, not even generally speaking, just in like just completely, 100%. If you are doing something because you enjoy it, go do that thing. Don't let me stop you, right? Like, obviously, if you want to go do a 24-hour charity stream and that brings you some enjoyment or fulfillment or whatever, or you really enjoy the charity and you want to help them out, even if it's a gesture and you don't necessarily get any donations, like all of those things are absolutely wonderful. I just kind of like analyzing things from lots of different points of view, right? So that's something that absolutely should be the baseline. I do agree, but I think the rest of the conversation is kind of more interesting.
Yeah, of course. If you want to do it, do it. Don't listen to free retards on the internet. Just
exactly. Yeah.
Well, that goes with everything on this show, and on Twitch in general.
Absolutely.
If you want to do something for whatever reason, do it. So I want to say, do you have anything to add, Mellar, about charity streams of 24 hours?
I might, after you've had your segment, go right ahead.
Yes. Well, so I think if you do the charity stream right, so in my opinion, there's a long lead up time, and then you are doing 24-hour stream and saying, hey, can you sponsor me? And like, even if you had like physical sponsorship forms, how like you go around your friends and family and saying, look, I'm doing this thing, it physically exerts me by 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever, will you sponsor me to do this thing for this charity? If you go about it that way, rather than if you happen to go live and be like, yo, charity stream this one, any donations go to help the whatever the charity, I think that's the right way to go about it. If you're not affiliate and you're working towards affiliate, doing a 24-hour live stream is dumb, because that'll change your viewership numbers drastically, and you need those 3. If someone doesn't know, if you're not affiliate, one of the requirements is you hit 3 average views across the board for your streams for the month. So if you are not at that point, then a 24-hour stream, even for charity, could hurt your chances to affiliate. So I just wanted to put that out there to make sure people know that. Again, I do like your point. You have changed my opinion to the fact that Mellar said that you could just go live and someone might be more generous, like Devin said as well. Someone might be more generous because it's a charity stream. But like, I know for myself, I feel like I haven't done charity stream, and not to say I won't in the future. I'm actually planning one, but like I say, I might back out of it. Who knows? But I just feel like I don't have the face value to say, look, I care about this charity enough to do this. And like, I don't think I barely, I'm not crying here, but I don't get donations and bits and all that on average enough basis to say, hey, today these are going to go towards a charity, and like, some charities expect a quota, and like they won't let you sponsor them if you don't hit a certain amount minimum, and I don't like that as well, and that kind of puts me off it.
I would put me off, to be fair.
So yeah, there's I do think that's an interesting thing to talk about, actually, because my mum actually, she's been trying to do the marathon for a long time. One of the ways you can do it is by going in and saying, I'm going to get sponsored by a charity, but the amount you have to raise, like you said, with the quota is quite high. So I can totally understand why that would put people off, is put her off doing the marathon for a long time. So yeah, and it's a dream of hers.
Yeah. And like Virtue said, charity isn't about your clout. Sometimes if you're joining a charity event, the act of joining is enough, and that kind of makes sense for the smaller charities, like if you're trying to raise awareness for a charity that people don't know. But if you're doing it for insert big name charity here that everyone knows about and gets millions and millions for every month, then are you actually helping yourself, helping that charity, or are you just doing it to look like the pretty boy that helps charities? Do you know what I mean? It's like, are you really boosting your own ego? It's like if you gave a homeless man money and then put it on Facebook the day after and be like, hey, just gave this guy loads of money and food because I'm such a great person, and then that's almost like you're just boosting your own ego and you're not actually doing it for that genuine reason,
That goes into my point, doesn't
and
it?
same as in like, trying to do it to grow a stream, but through a charity event. And I always think that you need to have that following already to then put towards that charity, rather than just like expecting more people to come from that. I don't think that even happens really. But I guess to Devin's point with that H bomber guy, so maybe.
Like I said, I guess my main with charity streams, kind of, I think there's other things you can do that will boost your channel more other than long charity streams. I'd say one interesting thing that might be good to explore at some point is that if you were to just kind of, if you have like a reasonable following already, like we've said, if you were just say this one is a charity stream and not really promote it, just do like a regular like length stream and just any money you make goes to charity. I don't think that's a terrible way to go about it, because it's some, you know, that's, I wouldn't say that's a more sincere way to go about it, because you're not promoting it as this big thing. You're kind of just saying, okay, whatever money I make here is going to go to a charity. You probably won't really gain anything extra from doing it. So it really depends on how you want to go about it. And as far as I'm concerned, like I've said, if you're doing it to some extent to gain, help out yourself in some way, I don't even think doing something like a 24-hour event would be the best way of doing it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that made a good point as well. I haven't seen that, but some people have a thing in their bio that says X amount from their streams go to a charity, which is interesting. I've not seen that before.
I don't think I've seen anything like that before, so that's really
but
cool.
If people are out there doing that, then kudos to you, So yeah, I think that... Has anyone else got any final points on the charity thing, or are we going to go into the section 3?
We are running slightly under time, but we could always just have a free chat at the end if we.
Yeah, we can always pick up a topic or something.
All right, no worries. Well, shall we go? Have you got anything else you want to say on that particular subject there, Davin?
Not really. I think I basically said everything I'd like to say. Yeah, I think I'm good.
Wicked.
That's cool. Right. So what we are going to do...
Get ready for the transition then, guys.
We're not doing that anymore.
Very high class special.
It is.
Oh, it's Wayne's World. It's Wayne's World.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is, so sorry.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So give me 1 second to get these up. Okay. So we have got the first clip.
Oh, I need to get myself in the right place as well.
Yeah, come on, guys. Yeah, be professional.
Right, so okay, yeah.
There's ire in chat for the fact that you don't know what Wayne's World is.
I'm sorry. I know of it.
Wait,
but
what is Wayne's World? What is this mysterious?
Oh my god, it's a movie.
I know of it, but I don't know.
It's a comedy movie from the early 90s with Keanu Reeves in it.
Keanu Reeves.
Okay, so just a quick thing, actually. I know earlier I said I have no idea who any actors are. I'm really bad with names.
I am pretty actor-tarded as well.
Fair.
Keanu Reeves is the guy that plays Neo in The Matrix. The main character.
I've seen The Matrix. It was such a long time ago. Okay, yeah, I know who he is. It's just so long ago I had to think. Wait, is Neo like? Yeah, I couldn't remember who he was exactly. Like, it's not.
Keanu's in Bill and Ted. I always get them mixed up. It's what's his name? Yeah, baby, that guy.
I have no idea what film that is either. I tell you, just a general thing. In terms of like my media tastes, I lean
Austin Powers, yeah. Mike Myers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's it, Mike Myers. Yeah.
Mike Myers. I always get Bill and Ted mixed up with
sure.
Wayne's World. My bad.
Fair.
There we go. Virtue's like just reeling in his chair, like, why? How does he not know those things?
I've watched those films hundreds of times.
Again, I'll just say something right now, actually. I know multiple types of media, but generally I lean very contemporary. I don't listen to watch or consume anything before the 2000s, to be honest. I don't think I'm very contemporary in my tastes.
I'm very like that though as well. It's almost snobby. I'm like, if it hasn't got good special effects, I'm same with video game graphics. I'm like, if it doesn't look great now, it irks me while I'm like using those things or watching it or playing it.
I'm a bit more the other way. I'm much more early 2000s, 90s, even 80s. There's some really good 70s movies that I've seen as well. I prefer the old ones, to be honest.
Sure. No, it really depends what it is. Like, there are definitely some old films. In fact, golden age of Hollywood and whatnot, which a lot of films are coming out really good. But I generally think, so I'll say with film is kind of like the exception to what I'm about to say. But when it comes to like games and music, I honestly just feel like games and music have just gotten better as time's gone on, which is apparently a hot take. But there you go.
Yeah, I agree with that. So let's do the section 3. It's a game. It's called Sub, Follow, or Dip. It's like Kiss, Marry, Fuck, Marry, Kiss, or Kill, or whatever.
Dude, Snub, Marry, Avoid.
I don't know. There's other ones.
Well, that's the PG-13 version. Let's be real.
Not very censored. But if you don't know, we rate 3 clips from completely random streamers. They're going to be like their top clip of the week, and then like another random clip from random streamers generally. And then we judge and say whether we would sub, follow, or dip. Dip as in like leave the stream because. And explain sort of why and what we didn't like and what they could maybe improve. But watch the 3 clips first of the same person, and then we'll say we'll go around the room and say our critiques or whatever, and our preference, and then we'll go on the next one. And we've got 3 sets of 3 clips, so 9 clips in total. So if everyone queues up, ready? Have you guys got this ready to?
First clip is called "The Damage." Damage is real with Baraka, I believe. Okay.
Devin's room is mint. You've got a lot of compliments on your room.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yes, I have. Got
Yeah, I know. I appreciate the love everything. So yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much, guys. Chat, you're lovely.
Chat is
we
lovely.
ready?
Lovely.
Are we ready
chat.
with this clip?
We are indeed. Everyone, 3, 2, 1, play.
You get hit by that every time.
Mortal Kombat. 'Tis a good game.
Ooh, that's a lot of fucking damage.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Righto. Next one.
Righto. Okay. And then pull this back. And everyone's queued up.
Yep.
Oh, he's moved his overlay. 3, 2, 1, play.
Go, Josh! Go, Josh! Shut the door on this bitch ass! Get out of there, run! Shut the door and run! Shut the door and run! Go, Josh, go! Go, Josh, go! Go, Josh, go! Run, Josh, run!
Oh, fucking assholes.
Get him, Josh! Get him, Josh! Get him, Josh! Fuck him up! Fuck him up! Get him, Josh!
They were just walking around outside like, hey, what's up? How's it going?
That was so good.
Oh, that kid has no thumbs. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
That's an Apex player, good lord.
Next clip, then.
Yes,
One, get
final
ready.
clip. 3, everyone ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play.
Where's he at?
He's down there. Oh,
Ooh, nasty.
yeah,
You got him?
yeah. Come out another door. Oh, come out another door.
Kill him.
You fucking dude. Don't worry about me. He's got me.
I hit him with an arc star.
That was quite the spicy clip.
Alright, so Devin. Would you
Okay.
follow, sub, or dip?
So, firstly, just a quick caveat, I guess.
for it.
Before I speak about anything, obviously, I just want to. It's very hard to judge someone purely based off like a couple clips because getting an idea.
That's why it's fun!
Everyone has the same consensus when they go on the show, but this is the, like, because they're completely random streamers, we're impartial, it's hard to judge them off the clips, but that's just the game we're playing.
Sure, no, I understand. It's not a criticism of the game necessarily, but I just make that. Just some clips. I think one of the biggest things is selection bias is real. Like, their biggest clips may not necessarily be ones that I would enjoy, but their community might enjoy those clips specifically because he's raised a certain type of community or whatever. So there's a lot of different things going on. But based on those clips, so for me personally, when I watch streamers, I'm usually not super interested in the game they're playing. It's really rare for that to be the case. I usually enjoy their commentary around the game, whether they're like funny or they tell like interesting stories or they're personable.
Yeah,
And the
personality,
other-
chat interaction, that sort of thing.
For sure. And this guy seems a little bit leaning heavier on the gameplay side of things, which, you know, is totally fine. Like, the first clip is just, like, look at how sick this combo was. And admittedly, Mortal Kombat is a very aesthetic game, so just the, like, looking at it visually is a lot of fun, but it's not something I couldn't get elsewhere. I thought the second clip was pretty funny. It's, like, that was just a pretty absurd thing to happen, I guess. And the third clip demonstrated, like, a level of skill. He seemed like a, reasonable guy. The only thing I found his camera angle pretty interesting. I got to say, he's got like a standing up, like sideways.
Yeah,
one.
it's like a downwards, like side profile, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, I guess. I mean, seems like a reasonable streamer.
Do you sub, follow, or dip?
I thought we was looking at all of them and then doing it in context.
No, so we'll do like 3 clips, then then we'll go on the next streamer. Yeah. Can I say the same thing? Yeah.
Select one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. When you compared it to the other game, normally you pick like one.
Oh, okay, fair point.
Oh, right, okay.
Sure, yeah. So okay, I am probably somewhere between a follow and a dip. I think usually when I go into a channel, I like to say hi to the streamer and try and interact. So it depends on how we bounce off my chat if I were to actually go to a stream. But somewhere between a follow and a dip, I'll lean on dip for now, purely because I'm not usually so interested in just pure gameplay, and that seems more like this is what it's leaning towards, you know?
Yeah, Ozzy made a good point there. We should
that would be we're gonna put that one in our hats. That is a nice idea.
I've actually never watched Snog, Marry or Avoid, so I didn't know that, but that's interesting. We might go with that next time.
Know that, but I never even thought about that. So that is a nice, cool thing.
All right. For me, though, it's quite interesting clips. I liked those clips, actually. I quite liked the streamer. I like his energy. I like the fact I'm quite happy with his overlay overall. I like the fact that he clearly moves where the camera is according to the game that he's playing in order to not be in the way. That he definitely puts quite a lot of it. Like he clearly puts thought into that. I really don't like the camera angle. It's just wrong.
It's not flattering, is it?
No, I understand what he's going for, I think, but it's not conducive to conversation. You want to sort of have some form of, or not quite eye contact, but you need to see their face when you're talking to them. Really, if you're going to have a webcam at any rate. So I didn't like that at all. Although the whole thing about him standing up was cool, I guess. It does.
I didn't get that. Was he standing up? I didn't.
I'm pretty sure he was standing.
It's like an angle from upwards, so it appears like he's standing. He might actually be seated. I'm not too sure, but I thought he was.
I got from the way that he was moving that he was probably standing as well, but I may be wrong. I didn't see him interact with chat at any point, so that concerns me. But if I think I'm erring on the side of follow for this guy. I quite like I say I like the sort of the cut of his jib. I like the fact that he's trying to talk all the way through, because especially in like Apex is quite a difficult game to sort of talk all the way through, and I appreciated that. But at the same time, like if I went into his chat and tried to interact with him and didn't get any interaction, I would then probably dip. But on the whole, on the merits of those clips, I would follow, I think.
Yeah.
Zendo?
Yeah, he's also got my follow. They were some sick clips. It was funny clips. It was good. I liked it, and like I said, the fact I stream Apex. I know it's hard to talk all the time, even when you're doing like shitty little looting bits. So I also will follow because he seemed cool. His overlay was quite minimalist as well. I'd make it a bit smaller, but that's just nitpicky.
Yeah, I would have made it a little bit smaller, but yeah.
But on the point of him moving the camera around, that's something I actually have done for my Apex stream. I used to always have my camera bottom left, no matter what game I was playing. And I've noticed on Apex, it actually covers my health bar and like my stuff, and like that's actually a crucial part what viewers need to see. So I've shifted slightly over to the like not dead center, but like just before dead center. So I'm sitting, and I actually want people's opinion on that. That's interesting as well. So yeah, definitely he has my follow.
Sure. Right. So something I just want to add. Actually, I thought was kind of funny. So I do agree. I actually quite liked his overlay. I'm a big fan generally. I don't want too much stuff on the screen at once, for sure. I just want to see the
Agree.
game, the stream. That's basically it for me. I know everyone has different preferences and that kind of thing, but here you go. But one thing I will say, actually, that's kind of just funny. I always make sure to move my camera in accordance to my game, right? I want to make sure it's the right size, even like if it could go smaller, larger, whatever. I make sure to always adjust it. But just a funny little story from a while ago. When I was playing Slay the Spire, someone popped into my chat and moaned about where my camera. So instead of being helpful, I kind of turned it into a meme, and I made myself like huge and obnoxious, and put myself in the middle of the screen.
That's always fun.
Danced around my community for a while, so that was a good time.
Yeah, that's always fun to do. Like on it, and then that shows ingenuity as well.
Yeah, I literally put myself like dead center of the screen and made myself huge, and you could only see the like outlines. It was pretty good. Yeah. I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of those kind of like meta Twitch memes, like when someone bounces off and does something pretty meta, like funny title memes. I'm always a big fan of that. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
No worries.
cool. Let's we've sorted out our time gap because we are now running behind. So let's hit on these next clips. Let's get on it.
Don't let it stop you though. Just.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. All right, are we ready with the next clip? Clip number 4.
Yep, let's go.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, play. Interesting. What? Did you? Okay. All right then. All right. Next clip.
Wait, well, sorry, have you guys finished already?
That was.
Wait,
it was like a few second clip.
Wait.
Mine
Oh
is
wait.
like
Okay, sorry.
30
No.
seconds.
Yeah, for some reason mine started towards the end. My bad. I
Okay.
fucked it.
Do you want to watch it again?
Can
just
we?
so the
Yeah.
viewers
Can
see
we
it?
play that back? Because I never watched
let's-
any of that
let's go
clip.
from
It
the
was like a
start so we
3
get
second
full
clip.
context.
Let's go from the start.
My
again.
bad. I was bound to fuck up
Yeah, no
something.
worries.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Subscribe now to the community, don't be silly. Alright.
That's very synchronized.
Sorry, I hit the space bar. GF450. Guys, you know what the biggest problem is right now? GF450 hasn't even subbed.
All right, cool. Next
Okay.
clip.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yep. 3, 2, 1, play. Yes, he did, Virtue. We know. I will be saying what?
Threw me off.
You see someone?
Yeah, I just killed someone.
You did? Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a knock. So.
Oh, yeah, he's right there.
I'm not with you, I need a heal. Pretty bad.
Yeah, I think that was more about the beginning of that. Cool. Is everyone ready with the
Third clip.
third clip? Right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, play.
This house is my place is such a mess right now. So many boxes on the floor. That's not helping.
Was that like a super short clip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He just launched it.
All right then, Davin, what do you reckon?
Sorry, I'm just watching that last. Oh, okay. Sorry, right. I didn't. Got it.
He throws
so,
it.
Yeah. Sorry. So, I guess like a couple things that are important to me is I really like kind of people's mannerisms and cadence in how they speak. This guy seemed like actually kind of energetic, and I dug the way, like, his cadence and kind of his mannerisms, I guess. I thought he was pretty, I don't know, he seemed like an interesting, unique sort of guy. I feel like the last 2 clips weren't really long enough to get a full opinion. The first one kind of gave me the most of, like, what he does, I guess, really. I don't know where I land on this guy, honestly. He's kind of an interesting character, I think. And with the kind of streamer he seems to be, I feel like I'd need a bit more context. But I'd probably say follow, just because I'm intrigued, if nothing else, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mellar, was that you?
Yeah. I quite like the clips. I like the fact that they're all different.
Yeah.
Like the guy clearly does quite
Shows a variety.
A variety of content. The first clip was quite cute. The third clip was hilarious. I didn't really see him interact, but like you say, the clips were quite short. I think on the whole, yeah, I think this guy deserves a follow. I quite like the fact that he's he's got quite a good variety. He seems like a nice bloke. And that joke, seriously, that's my kind of humour when he threw that thing on the floor. Well, that's not going to help. Yeah, he's got a follow for sure.
Cool. Yeah, he's got my follow because the variety of content seems like a pretty cool dude. I'm not going he's spilling in his chair again, but I'm not going to totally crucify him on the fact he called out that guy for not having subbed, because maybe we don't know the background there. Maybe he's resubbed for like that personal guy has resubbed for like 19,000 months in a row, and it's like, hey, you haven't resubbed yet, and then it could be like a little joke. But I don't do it anymore. I haven't done it for a long time, but I have like called out people and asked for subs. Not asked, but sort of. Yeah, Aussie, fucking sub.
No, straight up, screw that. Get these freeloaders the fuck out of here, man. I need my sub. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I thought I got the feeling that it was a joke.
It wasn't like, hey, sub. It wasn't aggressive. It was a jokey thing. It seemed like it was. He like because he called it his name. It seemed more personal on a.
Yeah, and he did a whole like
e-begging
thing at the end. Like little coy. Like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's.
No, yeah. I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was fine. Honestly, pestering people to sub is probably not a great idea, but yeah, it's definitely a funny little meme.
He seems like a cool guy as well. I think I might sub in the future as well. Like if I'd.
Oh wow.
If I'd looked at the other content.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Shall we move on?
Yeah,
to
let's
the
have a
next
look
clip?
at the final clip. Oh, it's a grill. There we
So
go.
we're on clip number 7 now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, play.
Finish them. All of them.
Okay.
Fair
You'd
enough.
look at weak top clips for LSF. I don't know what LSF is. Aussie goes dip purely because it's PUBG.
LSF is live stream fails.
Ah.
Right. Okay. All right. So we're going on to the next clip. Yeah.
Yes. 1 second. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Everyone ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play.
Gross.
Okay. And then the
Oh, hold on.
final.
Oh, right. No, we're good. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, and then the final clip.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play.
What? My mouse is not working! My mouse is not working! Oh shit. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right then.
Yeah, Devin, you go.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, interestingly enough, throughout these clips, she's actually changed her overlay, kind of, which I guess they must have changed over time or whatever. I will say that she seems like an energetic person, maybe a little too focused on gameplay, like I said earlier, for my liking. But I'm glad she has, like, peaks and troughs, I guess. You kind of want to have dynamics in your streaming. You don't exactly want to just always be, you don't want to always be super energetic. You don't want to be, like, super quiet or whatever. So, yeah, I kind of like the dynamics. The overlay is maybe, like, I think the camera's a little bit too big in the first and last clip. Like, the green screen one looked okay to me, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, maybe a little bit too focused on gameplay for me. The top clips all being ridiculous things that happened in game suggests to me that she would be a very gameplay focused person as opposed to a very chatty person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, for me personally, I lean towards more the chatty type. So nothing against her personally. She seems like completely fine or whatever. But I'd probably pass.
Yeah, yeah. Mellar?
Yeah, I mean, she's actually relatively good at the game by the looks of things, which is quite good, refreshing. But she definitely looks, or from the merits of those clips, like she focuses a lot on the game and not so much on the chat. I think her overlay's all right. It's like, that kind of minimalist thing that you like, Zendo. Although, like you say, that maybe the cam is just a little bit on the big side, but that's not really too much of a problem. Yeah, I mean, unlike the previous two, I'm not so keen on her energy. I didn't really. I don't know. I just wasn't that keen on the clips, to be honest. I think I'm gonna dip.
Yeah, I have to agree with you guys. I'm dipping. I'll say I liked her overlay, and I agree with Devin with and you guys that with the webcam being a little bit too big. When it was green screened, it was all right, but then like I say with her box was just massive. It kind of distracting.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you're filthy. You've
That's
derailed me now. You've derailed me.
I just got back. So,
I have the power.
You do.
Anyway, I was gonna say I was gonna say I'm dipping, because there's gameplay orientated, but then there was no content there before something outrageous happened. There was no, oh shit, there's guys all around me. Oh no, oh gosh, I'm a tree, holy shit! It was just like after she got the kill, then she was like, ha ha ha. On that, especially on that like other clip, that was like the main one. I got the feeling
because obviously they're her top clips that most of the stream would just be her silently playing the game. Is kind of from it.
Yeah. I will say that generally with streams as well, I think it's really hard to stand out. So I feel like as much as I may be less streamer and was more keen on, say, the second one, for example, and I was kind of in the middle on the first one, they all come for me relatively close anyway, because, I mean, I only watch like a relatively small amount of Twitch relative to YouTube, and the guys I watch are typically bigger because there's kind of like, they have exactly what they're doing kind of more crafted. Like, so if you look at someone like Shroud, I'm not even his biggest fan, not even close to it, I don't watch him that much, but he knows exactly what he does, he's worked everything about his stream and that kind of thing. It's a very fine-tuned instrument at that point. With a lot of the smaller streamers, it's kind of, and I totally include myself in this for the record. Like I said, I've only just really started deciding that I'm going to be,
finding
doing
your
darts.
niche.
Exactly. I think it's an incredibly hard thing to do on Twitch, and small streamers will struggle with that a lot. And I think, so as much as I will say, like, maybe this streamer I wasn't so bit keen on, the first one or second one I was slightly more keen on, they all kind of fall in the same sort of category, though, for me. Yeah,
fair enough. Well, I think that about wraps up. Thank you so much for being on the show. You've been a great guest.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I did.
No, fucking hate it. Worst hour of my life. Never coming back on again.
Time's wasted. I could have been killing Knight Artorias in Dark Souls. Christ, guys. Jesus. Wasted my freaking Wednesday. No, sorry.
Thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome.
It's been absolutely mine too.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, that about concludes it. Usually we'd do a raid at this point, but I'm actually going to be live in like just a second with Apex. So if you want to stick around for that, that's cool.
Sorry. One dude just asked, what kind of Soul streamer are you? So I'm basically just running through the games at the minute because I have no experience previous to this point, so I'm a first timer essentially, but I'm going to do all of the 3 Dark Souls games. I'm going to do Bloodborne, I'm going to do Sekiro, and I'm planning on doing Silksong, Hollow Knight Silksong, that is. Despite the fact that it isn't technically a Souls game, it kind of falls in the same camp. That's currently on my roster, which should keep me busy for like a little while now.
Awesome. Oh, yeah. Question, did you decide to do them because of H-Bomb's reviews of them?
So, no, actually. I purposefully avoided H-Bomber guys' reviews of them. I hate being spoiled. I'm one of... Oh, have I?
Yeah, sorry, cut off then. You hate being spoiled, and then...
Yeah, so I'm one of those guys that hates being spoiled. So before I played the Souls games, I always knew there was an interest... or I always knew I'd be somewhat interested in them because I'm huge on the aesthetic of them. But basically... Yeah, basically, I didn't watch H-Bombers guys' videos on them because I didn't want to be spoiled on them. But I watched a lot of his other stuff, so I know I can kind of guess what he'd probably say about them, to be honest. But yeah.
Well, yeah, that's cool. No worries, Virtue. But we really do have to wrap.
Just quickly before
yeah, go for
before
it.
we go, if anyone in chat or on watching on YouTube has any ideas for future segment 2's topics, just leave a comment or
Yeah,
speak
tweet
up
'em.
on chat now, or tweet them at us. We're more than happy to take suggestions.
Yeah.
So go straight ahead with that.
If you haven't watched the previous episodes, catch up on there. We have a bunch of other streamers, a bunch of guests, similar style show.
And
If Mellar
next
can
week-
plug that.
Yeah, and next week we have got we're going live at 8 o'clock on Wednesday, so it's another Wednesday one. I'll just get you guys the link to the YouTube if you want to catch up on some of the previous episodes. And
Yeah, that's cool.
there it is.
Lovely. Go check that out. All the previous episodes on there. And yeah, thank you again, Devin. I'm gonna stick our socials on screen now, and then I'll leave that live for a minute or two, and then I will close off. I will not be live anymore, and then I'll pop back on with Apex, and yeah, cool. Thanks.
Wicked.
Cool.
for,
Well, yeah, cheers for having me, guys. I've had a lot of fun. So
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Awesome. All right, socials are up, and we are gone.